Welcome back, everyone. Sprint workout training day on tap. Just like last week. 45-minute run beforehand in this deep snow today. We're on the lookout for coyotes because this is their spot. So I'm just kind of staying aware. But people always say, oh, you gotta be careful about coyotes. Watch out. And I agree. Maybe I shouldn't say this, jinx this right now, but basically when you run for a month on your own in Park City, Utah, in mountain lion season, the threat of a coyote doesn't seem so bad. There were some trails there that I got up and like I was on my own, like totally, or was I? But I mean of human people, totally on my own. There was nobody. I went up to Mid-Mountain Trail and I went off on one of the trails and there was still snow on it. It was very early in the season at that point. Like this was early May. And I'm telling you, I saw a track on one of them. This was on a different run, but on this run in particular, I just felt it. I felt like I wasn't alone in the woods. And I'm telling you right now, you've never seen someone run so fast in your life. I just had this feeling. It was so weird. I was out there like into a 30K run in the mountains. Like I was running like 200 plus K a week. And I was just like, I feel a presence of something. And I booked it down that mountain here, where it's just, yeah, there might be a coyote around the corner right now. We'll see. See if we get this on GoPro and this goes viral. No, I've seen them right there before. But once you've run under threat of mountain lion, a little coyote, I'm not as concerned about. Anyways, we'll get back to it. This is gonna be a slow one. We're even in spikes today. I find they're actually quite helpful. But it's hard because people have been here. If this was fresh snow, this would be a lot easier. It's all these darn ruts. We'll catch you in on the bike. Another good one today, a fun one today. Now we get the greatest hill of Thornhill. This is it right here. Look at this. Here we go. Get ready. Don't blink. This is real time. Yeah, and we're done. So for today's sprint workout, it's divided into two parts. First, before I did this, I did that same 12-minute foundation training workout that I've been doing in the previous weeks, just to get the legs really ready to go. And then was about a 25-minute long warm-up. And if you've noticed actually on that, like in all previous videos and stuff like that, I like to do about a 25-minute to 30-minute long warm-up. And this is a little bit longer for sure than what you see in a lot of the like let's say Zwift workouts that they have there, or even like the Zwift Academy workouts, where they're going to have you warming up for only about 10 minutes. And for me personally, and I think for a lot of people, I think 10 minutes is just not enough time to get yourself actually really ready to go. And actually there is some research that shows that for even like zone 2 workouts, that it may be beneficial to do a longer warm-up just so that you're not playing catch up the entire rest of the way. So anyways, 25-minute long warm-up, and then into the first part, which is rolling sprints. And so here it's kind of combining the last two workouts a little bit, the leg speed and the really high force, high torque type stuff. So here, starting out in a mid to high gear at about 40 to 50 RPM, and then gonna smash it for 10 seconds. And because it's only like, it's not the hardest gear you have, you are gonna get to a pretty decent leg speed in the end, and so that's where that second workout will hopefully come into the mix. On the first one, I didn't really have the right gear set for that one, but the next three were actually quite good. The third one, actually, I accidentally hit the next button when changing the trainer from erg mode to standard mode for the sprints. And so for that, it actually just like kicked me into one of the intervals. And so I had to actually pause the workout and go like back and do it in the recovery period, which was fine. But actually just on that, just for a tip, you can't really do sprints in erg mode. It's kind of impossible. And for a couple reasons. One, if the interval's just 10 seconds long, it'll just take the trainer way too long to actually even react. So there's always a little bit of a delay on the trainer. And so if you're trying to sprint for 10 seconds, you can't have it so that the first 3 seconds the trainer's not giving you any resistance. And second, the thing is that once the trainer gives you that resistance, it hits like an absolute ton of bricks. And so it's actually very difficult to even hold that type of power, even though the power isn't really out of your range. It's just how the power came on is very unnatural. So normally we kind of we're ramping up to that power, whereas here the trainer is literally going to go from, say, 180 watts to 800 watts in a split second. So it doesn't really work like that. So that's why for these workouts, and really all workouts with very short intervals, I'd say doing it in standard or sim mode is much better than erg mode. Erg mode is a lot better for those steady, sustained efforts. Overall, I'd say from the start, the legs did feel a little bit tired. I had started a new strength routine, just about 3 or 4 new exercises on the weekend, and was definitely feeling it, which I mean is good because it means that the routine is forcing the body to adapt and get stronger and perhaps use muscles that maybe haven't been used that much in the past. But still, having said that, it'd be nice if the body could kind of get on my schedule, because they were definitely feeling it today. And even in the cool down from my run workout on Sunday, which I'll put the details on the screen, it was all uphill on the cool down, and the legs were definitely feeling it. It was quite a struggle to get back home. Any case, got the workout done, and I think I still was able to put forth a good effort and learned a couple important things, especially for part 2 of this workout, where here it was race sims or lead out type sprints, and there were 4 of those as well. Where here there was a 2.5 minute long warm up into a 10-second sprint. And with these ones, I think these ones better replicate what you'll see in a race, since in a race you're not going to be going from your nice 5 minutes of recovery at zone 1 and then banging out a 10-second sprint. In a race, there's always going to be a pretty gradual ramp up, or sometimes a sharp ramp up in that final couple kilometers or final kilometer. And so these will better replicate what you're going to be seeing in the race. So here it's very important to get to learn how to do your gearing and just learning how to sprint out of already kind of zone 5 type powers, and so with already an elevated heart rate at that point in time. So I think they do a good job of replicating that race and just working on the kind of the technical components of your sprints. So anyways, let's check in, see how we're doing, and get this going.
Drama. Yeah, I've been running and running to keep it 100, it's all that I wanted. But lately I don't get the stomach. The higher the summit, the harder the plummet. They know me all over this planet. I'm just a man and I can't understand it. Proud that I win and I did it myself. Probably wouldn't if I got the help. Hearing subliminals all on myself. Feel like I'm breaking, I'm falling to hell. Told me I'm sick and I tell her, oh well. Rather be dead than to know that I failed. Live for the chase, life is a race. I'm out of space, I'ma get on my face. I got a taste, well the whole plate finna get laced if you step out of place. Like, first off, you don't run nothing. All talk and your team bluff it. My squad, we all dream crushing. We ain't rushing, no discussion. All I know is I was made for this. Paid for this, yeah, slave for this. Been down and I'ma get it right. Get on sight like down and I'ma get it right. Dead on sight like been down and I'ma get it right. Dead on sight like never really know when you're gonna go. Why you gotta put another foot in front of yours? Bury them toes, carry them close. I was never one to care about my mentos. I was like froze, now I'm on far. Give me that smoke, but I can't get high. We do the most, here to inspire. Doing what I'm supposed, but I can't get tired. Run for your life, every night. See in the dark, blind by the light. I got the spark, I got the pipes. All of my arts coming to life. Had to face my fears while I chased my peers, and I found my spot. About time that I found myself. I've been out here walking that walk. Like, first off, you don't run nothing. All talk and your team bluffing. My squad, we all dream crushing. We ain't rushing, no discussion. All I know is I was made for this, paid for this.
So disappointing one to end it. Like it was, I'm not gonna say this was a great workout. Started out well, and then legs started feeling really not great, and then the lead outs weren't, the first one was just a mess. Like I tried doing the first one in standard mode, and standard mode just kind of feels weird. It doesn't feel like out on the road, or it doesn't feel like when it's in sim mode. Like when it's in sim mode, it feels a little bit smoother through the gears. Third one was really good, and then fourth one was good. Hit good power, but just again, the gears. Next time I do this workout, I'm gonna probably do it in sim mode. Sometimes I just like having the thing there. I've got kind of used to that the last couple months, just having kind of the timer going here. But I used to, like last year, I did all my workouts always in sim mode, and I'm just gonna go back to that. I don't like standard mode. It feels really unnatural. And like at the end there where I went from erg to standard for the sprint, it's just hard because you switch over and all of a sudden there's this, you're in a big gear and there's some resistance, like a good chunk of resistance now. So it's just, that's what I had trouble with today, I think. Or not I think, I know. It's just, it was all just really difficult going from erg into standard. Just really hard to get down, like, what gear am I gonna be in here? Because especially when you go from erg to standard, it's not like you're flicking through the gears. With erg, you're kind of like in one gear the whole time, and then you switch to standard, and it's like, ooh, I don't know about this. So the first 4 seconds are all just like me fooling around. Not fooling around, but you get what I'm saying. So anyways, we'll have a weight session right after this. Squat, deadlift like last week. And hopefully we bounce back for tomorrow, and catch you then.
Slave for this, been down and I'ma get it right, dead on sight like. First off, you don't run nothing, all talking, your team bluffing. My squad, we all dream crush it, we ain't rushing, no discussion. All I know is I was made for this, paid for this, yeah, slave for this. Been down and I'ma get it right, dead on sight like. Down and I'ma get it right, dead on sight like. Been down and I'ma get it right, dead on sight like.
That was really good. That's felt much better than yesterday. And after this, I'll show you my setup as well. I think in a lot of videos gets cut out. Thought maybe it'd be interesting to see like what I'm looking at, just like the actual bike, what bike I'm using, how I set things up like that. So I'll just cool down. Great workout. Real happy with it. Like, felt real strong. To get back into a rhythm post the surges, I felt like I was back probably 30-35 seconds in that range. So overall, real good. And we'll catch you in just a bit. All right, so as I mentioned before, today I'm just gonna take you on a super short little tour of the basement. Just as we come downstairs, we got the Bryant jersey hanging up, because as you come down here, this is where you enter the zone of the Mamba mentality. Basically, this is where the work gets done. So, we come on down here, and as I said, I'm gonna make this a pretty quick tour, like as quick as I can make it. So, general overview. We got Dad's bike set up, my bike set up, treadmill, other bike, waiting patiently over there. We got like the band, go crazy with the band station over there. We got some weights over here, Bosu ball, I don't know what else. There's also a lot of stuff upstairs as well, I should say. We got some abs stuff, the mat, wheels over there. Yeah, so that's the basic, like, general overview. Over here, what do we got here? We got some nutrition set up, so we got precision hydration drink mix, then we got the electrolyte mix, then we got Beat It, and trust me, those Beat Its will come in use very soon as the VO2 Max work will begin shortly. Some products I'm testing, which we'll talk about later. And anyway, so this video, I wanted to make this more about like the actual bike setup, because I could talk all day about all these things down here. Like we got, what do we got in here? We got like 7,000 tools and stuff like that, and 8 million cassettes, a bunch of shoes, like zillions of Nikes, and those are all the Adidas and Skechers stuff. And then we got the bike setup. So let me take you through just a little bit of this actual setup. So first of all, we have the computer attached to the television with the HDMI. The computer can actually go in behind there. There's a tray. Let me squeak over here. So there's a tray in behind here where the computer can rest. But sometimes I've been finding for Zwift, it's actually just a lot easier just having this thing there, just because I have been finding the companion app's been a little bit sketch lately. So we got two fans, 1 and 2. Normally for my workouts, I'll have them positioned both at me, and then I'll have that window over there open at the same time to get maximum cooling. Right now it's set up for both of us to be working out. Tables with some hydration stuff on it. This is to control my surround sounds. 1, 2, 3 speaker, and then 4 and 5. And those are connected via here. We got the scale over there. Charging station, so I could put 2 different things in there and charge different batteries. Here's the heart rate monitor. I'm using the Polar OH1 Plus right now, which I gotta say I'm like insanely impressed by it. And then the bike. So some of you have been asking like equipment, what equipment am I using? I was just moving my shoes there. Those are the Bont Zero Plus. We're using Ceros H3. And then we have the little dongle hanging out over here with like 9-meter long extension cord that goes all the way into the computer eventually. But anyways, the extension cord is very important just to make that dongle as close as it can possibly be to the actual trainer. And then we got the bike. So this road bike, to make this as short as I can possibly make it, this road bike was purchased back in 2011. And then I rode it for a long time. It was more like my commuter, like I was running full time then, but I was using it commuting. This bike went absolutely all over the place for me. And basically in 2017, I made the decision to do basically a complete overhaul on the bike, just because I didn't really have the money to buy a full new bike, new frame set and everything like that. But I thought I'll keep the frame as it is, and then I'll kind of build around it. And I'll say at the time I had a sponsorship deal with a company called Trisports in the US, and really without them, like none of this could have possibly happened. I'm no longer working with them, but I'll forever be grateful because this bike is a product of that relationship. And so like the parts and everything like that that's on it, I got significant discounts on it, and very grateful for that. And actually also with the actual process of putting it together, I got a lot of help with that too, because in 2017, at the time, I'd only been really in triathlon for like less than a year at that point. And a lot of this stuff was new to me. I knew how to change a tire basically. But taking on the project of building a bike. So like with the old bike, I literally took everything off, crankset off, bottom bracket out, everything. And had to buy all the tools to do all this, and it was a little bit like, oh my goodness, like there's a lot of stuff, especially in, like I said, the bottom bracket type area, where it was kind of a little overwhelming. But the guys at Trisports were very helpful. Like they walked me through everything, like on the phone and stuff like that. And so anyways, it was very helpful. And anyways, the product is a bike that I'm very, very proud of. Still not complete, and that's particularly in the saddle region. But nonetheless, this is basically the finished product. The only thing that's not is the head mount here. I just got it kind of stuck on here because the actual Pioneer mount that came out front here, it had broke off. No idea how, just corroded off. But nonetheless, here's the bike. So the frame. So the frame, like I said, is 2011. This is like an entry-level specialized delay. But in 2011, it was my first ever big purchase, and I was incredibly proud of it at the time. I think it was like $1,000 or $1,200, something in that range. It was the first time that I actually had to call Visa and say, like, you gotta up my limit here. I'm about to like lay down some Benjamins. So like up that limit, because I'm buying this right now. And anyway, so I bought it, very proud of it, and the frame I still like the frame. It's perfectly good, 48 centimeter frame. And then around it now, so this is literally the only thing from the original bike. Around it, we have a Zip SL70 Aero carbon handlebar. Unfortunately, this mount covers up the beautiful Zip SL Speed stem, carbon as well, and then a seat post, which is the Zip SL Speed carbon seat post. So they're all kind of the same lineup, the SL carbon lineup. The seat, as I mentioned, right now I have actually the original seat I got with the bike on it. I have an ISM seat somewhere over in that cupboard. Got a bunch of things. I could build a bike from what's in that cupboard, basically. But anyways, so right now I'm on the original one. I'd like to get one without a cutout, actually, which is actually surprisingly difficult to find. Back to the bike, we got Ultegra. This was the newer one at the time, so the 6800. And then down on crank neck of the woods, a Dura-Ace Pioneer power meter. This is dual-sided power meter. These are 170 mil crank arms, and actually Pioneer just had recently, like in the last year or so, been bought out by Shimano. So they're not in the game anymore, but nonetheless, very happy with it. It works perfectly. It and the Ceres are like remarkably similar. Ultegra on the front and rear derailleurs. And then Ultegra cassette here as well. Dura-Ace chain, Speedplay pedals. These ones are ones that I will like shift over from bike to bike. I don't have enough cash to buy 2 sets of Aero titanium. These are the titanium spindles. Again, something that without Tri-Sports, there's no way I would have been able to afford them. But anyways, so very grateful. So I think that's basically the bike. We got the Revolver Chrono Stock 60 mil on the front, and the deeper one over there, Chrono Stock 9. I believe it's 88 millimeters. I'll show a picture here of what the actual bike looks like with the wheels on. But anyways, that's the setup. So right now, as I said, I'm using the road bike because, as you can see by this tape thing here, I've moved the seat down dramatically from what it is on the time trial bike, and that was to try to relieve some of the strain on my hamstring. It hasn't really done much right now, I can't say, but I'm still kind of tinkering with it. But anyway, so that's the setup of things. It's a good setup. It gets the job done, and I really have everything that I could possibly need here. I can't really think of anything that I'm missing other than right there, if anybody's watching, right there, like, does that not look like a perfect spot for an endless pool? I got all my swim stuff over there collecting dust. That right there is all that's missing, and then basically I'd never have to leave this basement. I'd be good to go for the next however many lockdowns that we got. That's all for now. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoy. Next video, I'm going to be taking you through it's going to be like a day in the life video, but it's going to be the or kind of almost cliched now of what I eat in a day video, but it's going to be a little bit interesting because it's what I eat on a Zwift race day. And a Zwift race day where I have a run workout in the morning and then the Zwift race in the evening, and track and seeing what I eat throughout the day and stuff like that. I think it could be interesting. That's the next video coming up, and then we'll show the finale to the sprint series next Wednesday or Thursday. Any case, that's all for now. Thanks again so much, and I'll catch you next time.